The story takes place in the Fiore Kingdom, a magic-rich country with competing guilds. One important guild is Fairy Tail, led by Master Makarov. The Alvarez Empire from the Western continent, ruled by Emperor Spriggan, seeks to invade Fiore to obtain a powerful secret magic. When Makarov attempts peace negotiations with Spriggan, they break down as the Emperor is determined to start a war. Makarov tries to escape but finds himself pursued. The situation becomes dire as the threat of annihilation looms. A confrontation occurs with Emperor Spriggan, who is revealed to be one of the 12 shields. The land of Ish has fallen under Alvarez control after being abandoned by the gods. Despite this, Fairy Tail remains defiant against these superior forces. Master Makarov returns to Fairy Tail, marking the beginning of what may be their toughest battle yet. The guild members express their desire to stay together and keep smiling, even as the threat draws closer. It is revealed that Emperor Spriggan is actually Zeref, the strongest black magician on the continent and creator of the demon Aetherias. He has left behind many forbidden magics and seeks to determine who will survive between dark demons, the Dragon King, and humans. The Alvarez Empire is exposed as a super-military magic empire that unified 730 guilds. Despite the overwhelming odds, Fairy Tail remains determined to protect what matters to them, fighting not just to win, but to survive and maintain their way of life. The town begins evacuating as the threat approaches. Natsu and others notice the emptying streets, creating an eerie atmosphere in once familiar places. Strange monsters begin appearing, causing disturbances throughout the area. A crisis emerges when monsters kidnap a child, prompting Fairy Tail members to take action. Multiple battles break out as they fight to protect their town and rescue the kidnapped child. The full truth about Emperor Spriggan being Zeref comes to light, revealing strange connections to the current situation. The guild prepares for an ultimate confrontation with both Zeref's demons and forces. An ominous calm settles over the area, with everyone aware that war is imminent. Previous conflicts were interrupted, but this time the attack seems certain, setting the stage for an epic battle between Fairy Tail and the Alvarez Empire. The Alvarez Empire and Spriggan 12 represent a formidable threat. While following the Master's footsteps, an encounter with two members of Spriggan 12 revealed their extraordinary magical abilities that surpass any previous enemies. Their tremendous power is comparable to that of Bran. Though the situation seems dire with powerful foes like Agil, there is still hope through unity and teamwork. The combined strength of allies working together provides confidence in eventual victory despite the overwhelming odds. A child was rescued from danger, found unconscious but without visible injuries. The successful rescue mission brought relief and gratitude from the family, particularly the father who regained consciousness. A peaceful moment unfolds as companions rest, highlighting the importance of protecting precious friendships and meaningful relationships. The simple, uneventful times spent with loved ones prove just as valuable as moments of action. Plans for a major offensive are being formed. Elite warriors are gathering, preparing for a different kind of battle ahead. Despite some internal conflicts, the group maintains unity under Brandish's leadership. The ultimate objective is revealed, the extermination of fairy herbs and Isil, with the complete annihilation of humanity as the end goal. The strongest warriors, including God Serena, prepare for this massive assault. An unsettling atmosphere pervades the guild after returning from the Eastern Forest. Though victory is desired, the upcoming battle promises to be the toughest yet. The group hopes to maintain their bonds and continue sharing laughter together. Zeref emerges as a major threat to humanity. A secret plan to defeat him is revealed, involving a special technique that can only be used once but holds promise for victory. The first generation shows signs of distress, feeling responsible for Zaref's actions. This leads to the revelation of a century-old connection between them, setting up for an explanation of why Fairy Tail is being targeted. The narrative continues with the origin of Fairy Heart, an eternal and infinite source of magical power. Created through Pret's determination and extraordinary magical knowledge, it represents a significant development in the ongoing conflict. A serious discussion takes place about defeating Acnologia and the painful reality of fighting loved ones. The situation is described as a significant threat to humanity that must be addressed, showing the gravity of the upcoming conflict. Lucy is found alone, having been listening to old stories about a magical love that led to sad events. The moment reflects on how past events continue to influence the present situation. The atmosphere before the final battle is tense, with everyone feeling uneasy. Despite being strong friends, there is a sense of suppressed anxiety among the group. Like parents trying to be brave for their children, they are attempting to stay strong despite their fears. A massive battle preparation begins with approximately 50 large cruisers in the sky. The Fairy Tail line is established as enemies approach. A protective barrier magic is requested as the defensive measures are put in place. Enemy soldiers infiltrate the city, using magic particle cancelers to breach defenses. The situation becomes more dangerous as these opponents show high magical power and training, requiring everyone to maintain heightened vigilance. Mira, Elsa, and Laxus join forces to protect the guild. The group discusses strategy and the importance of protecting their family. Some members stay behind in Magnolia to defend their home base, while others move forward to confront the threat. The story shifts to a lighter moment where someone unexpectedly uses Aquarius power. The scene provides a brief respite from the intense battle sequences. A domestic scene unfolds involving property damage claims and concerns about the master's health. The group searches for special mushrooms in the eastern forest to help with pain relief, showing their care for one another. A dinner scene develops where Natsu and Gajeel detect a monster nearby. The group faces the challenge of sharing limited food resources, particularly a single fish, leading to playful competition among friends. The conversation begins with a discussion about Laxus and his complete adaptation to the guild. There are mentions of past events involving competitions and challenges between guild members, particularly focusing on the time before Wendy joined Fairy Tail. The discussion shifts to reminiscing about past conflicts within Fairy Tail, specifically when Raijin acted as Laxus bodyguards. Members recall dealing with Freed's techniques and various challenges they faced during that time, including Evergreen's stone magic and battles with puppet masters. The mood lightens as they discuss how relationships have improved, particularly with Laxus. The conversation then turns competitive as members begin challenging each other, especially regarding who could defeat Laxus first. The friendly rivalry shows how far they've come from past conflicts. Training and personal growth become the focus, with members discussing their progress. They share experiences about how they started weak but developed their fighting abilities. The conversation includes playful banter about different types of magic and their relative strengths. The scene shifts to a serious situation involving Alvarez soldiers gathering in a nearby location. Levy and others discover this while scouting. They devise a plan to gather intelligence from the soldiers, using an interesting good cop, bad cop routine. The narrative moves to a lighter moment involving Gray and Juvia. Juvia expresses her feelings through letters, showing her dedication and affection. The interaction highlights the ongoing dynamic between these characters, with Juvia's enthusiasm and Gray's measured responses. With the Alvarez Empire battle approaching, the guild members discuss future plans and ways to protect each other. They dream about post-war activities, including creating an aquarium guild and adding new features to their current guild hall. The tone becomes more serious as Gray contemplates the upcoming battle with Zeref, the creator of End. He reflects on past promises and the impact of Zeref's demons. Juvia offers support and understanding, demonstrating the strong bonds between guild members. The action picks up with various battle sequences and magical encounters. Guild members demonstrate their powers and abilities, working together and separately to overcome challenges. Their coordinated efforts show their growth as a team. The sequence concludes with more battle scenes and displays of magical abilities, highlighting the competitive yet supportive nature of the guild members. Despite their rivalry, their strong bonds and teamwork remain evident throughout their interactions. In the midst of an adventure, there is excitement about discovering treasure. The scene involves tidying up and preparing to finish up the current task at hand. The atmosphere is filled with anticipation as the group gets ready for their next move. A Stonefist Spirit Stone is encountered and needs to be destroyed. The battle proves to be an easy victory, though there are warnings about not getting too competitive. The group proceeds with determination to complete their mission. After the battle, rare items are discovered in stock. The scene shifts to a more relaxed atmosphere as the group takes a brief break from their intense activities. There is some playful banter about taking days off. A crisis erupts as monsters begin rampaging through a village. The team swiftly responds, with everyone, including Wenli, jumping in to help protect the village. Despite their good intentions, their efforts result in some accidental damage to the village. The action moves to an aerial battle, with Charles providing support from above. The team encounters resistance from enemies while aboard a ship, leading to intense combat situations. The ship sustains damage during the confrontation. The battle enters a sand world where the enemy claims godlike powers. The team faces challenges with invisible attacks and limited mobility in the sand. They discover that water and ice prove effective against the sand-based abilities. The enemy offers a false choice between submission and death, threatening painful consequences. However, the team remains united, refusing to acknowledge their opponent as a god. Their friendship and determination remain unshaken in the face of adversity. Despite facing a massive sandstorm, everyone makes it back safely. The team shares a moment of relief and camaraderie as they welcome each other home, with some light-hearted discussion about everyday matters. A battle ensues with Spriggan, where Brandish, a former Alvarez member, now wearing magic windstone handcuffs, helps capture an enemy. Lucy and Kana are reported to be safe, and the team decides to return to the guild where the master is waiting. Updates come in about various battles. Natsu's group is fighting while Freed and others were conducting a magic ceremony at the cathedral. A tough battle occurs against Whirl from Spriggan 12, whose magic causes weakness. Though they manage to repel Whirl, several sustain serious injuries, protecting their fellow guild members. Blue Pegasus assists by using Christina as a shield against magic attacks from Alvarez battleships. Multiple guilds, including Lamia Scale and Mermaid Heel, are rushing in to help. There's concern about Spriggan 12 members remaining in Halcyon and Toth's arrival. Meanwhile, Natsu has disappeared from the group. A dramatic revelation occurs about Dragon King power, which Agneil left inside Natsu. It took 10 months to unlock this power, which has incredible destructive capability. This leads to an intense confrontation filled with determination. A shocking truth emerges about family connections. Natsu learns he is actually Zeref's younger brother, who died 400 years ago and was revived as an Aetherius. This connects to deeper plot elements involving Tartarus and demons, though Natsu firmly maintains his human identity. The scene shifts to drama at the guild involving Brandish, who is attacked by a former subordinate from the Alvarez Empire. This betrayal creates tension, especially given Brandish's position as a powerful Spriggan 12 member. Questions arise about trust and allegiances. An emotional reunion occurs with Aquarius, whose key was broken a year ago. A new key has been born somewhere in the world. Complex history is revealed involving Lucy's mother Layla, Brandish's mother Grammy, and the truth behind past events with the 12 Zodiac keys. Despite being knocked down, spirits remain high. The scene opens with magical elements and mysterious duplications happening at the Poo 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 Guild. An investigation reveals that Prue has split into two entities as part of some ongoing research, with others experiencing similar splitting phenomena. Wendy and Shilia share a touching moment discussing their friendship. Though they started as rivals, they grew to become close friends who supported each other. Their bond strengthened even after Fairy Tail disbanded. The conversation brings comfort and renewed determination to help one another. Laxus shows signs of struggle with magic particle poisoning from a previous incident, though trying to hide it. Despite concerning symptoms and occasional seizures, Laxus remains determined to continue fighting to protect the guild, refusing to back down or show weakness. A heartwarming scene unfolds as someone helps two sisters who encountered a monster while retrieving a precious book. The book holds special meaning as their mother used to read it to them. The helper reassures them that new stories will come once the current conflict ends. Lucy has a meaningful interaction with Loki and her celestial spirits, who pledge their unwavering loyalty to her regardless of the challenges ahead. They reminisce about Aquarius and express gratitude for their bond. Lucy draws strength from their support, determined not to lose. An intense battle sequence occurs, featuring multiple magical attacks and techniques. Characters demonstrate their combat abilities and teamwork, with special moves like Ice Make and various hunting-themed attacks being deployed against their opponents. The scene shifts to Lucy, who reflects on meaningful memories of Natsu and Happy's first meeting in Halcyon City. The location holds special significance for everyone involved, marking the beginning of their shared journey. A mysterious spatial distortion appears, accompanied by extremely strong magical power. The team recognizes this as a threat and prepares to confront it, though not fully understanding its nature. Discussion turns to the Spriggan 12, with focus on Demaria and other members. The team analyzes their opponents, noting there are 3 in total, including some unknown elements that require further investigation. The discussion begins about a bathhouse that feels quite public, along with mentions of a well-equipped resource room where people can gather. The space allows for communal activities and spending time together, making it an enjoyable social setting. Reflections on shared living experiences are discussed, including activities like eating together, training, and working. There are playful mentions of attempted bed-sharing incidents and discussions about living arrangements, including details about a 70,000 yen rent property near a shopping street. Plans are made for social gatherings and sleepovers, particularly focusing on girls' night out activities. The house features amenities like a fireplace that provides warmth in cold weather, and there are plans to eat cake together on a comfortable sofa. The conversation shifts to discussing personal comforts like scented shampoo and baking bread. The focus is on creating a cozy atmosphere with mentions of relaxing in fluffy beds and enjoying peaceful moments before sleep. The narrative transitions to a more serious tone involving celestial beings and healing powers. A conflict situation develops where someone must take on a healer role despite other preferences. A battle scenario unfolds in what was once a peaceful town called Halcyon. There are strong desires to reclaim the city, with warnings about showing no mercy despite dealing with younger opponents. The concept of time manipulation is introduced, describing it as the world's strongest magic that cannot be defeated. This power comes with serious consequences, including potential death scenarios. A climactic battle scene develops involving time manipulation powers. There are discussions about using maximum magic potential and future powers, with acknowledgement that using certain techniques could result in permanent loss of magical abilities. The conflict intensifies with themes of friendship and sacrifice. There are philosophical discussions about humans resisting gods, suggesting that good gods would show more love for people than evil ones. There are mentions of monster hunting adventures and expressions of admiration between different characters. The final moments reference a warning observatory being destroyed, along with 7 private houses. In this emotional scene, there is tension as Elsa expresses disappointment and sends someone home. A revelation follows about contestants' documents being burned by a grandfather figure, leading to some expected reactions from both merchants and masters involved. A discussion occurs about personalities and role models, specifically mentioning Natsu-san as an example. The key message emphasized is about using one's power to help others rather than for selfish purposes. This showcases important character development and values. The scene shifts to focus on creative writing, where someone is working on summarizing a novel. There are discussions about the writing process with Levi-chan, who offers encouragement and support as the first reader. The writer expresses typical doubts and concerns about their work. The mood lightens, with Wendy receiving berries as a reward. A heartwarming scene unfolds as friends share and enjoy the berries together, with careful attention paid to how they are served and shared. This demonstrates themes of friendship and sharing. The setting changes to an evacuation scenario, where Gajeel and Levy encounter a stubborn elderly resident, refusing to leave their home despite danger. The old man is attached to memories, but eventually accepts help, leading to a touching moment of intergenerational understanding. A sudden rainstorm prompts a break by a bonfire. This leads to meaningful conversations about personal struggles, particularly regarding Yua-chan's relationship with rain. The scene concludes with a beautiful rainbow and renewed hope about embracing one's nature. An intense confrontation begins between rival groups, featuring strategic combat using various magical abilities, including fire, lightning, and alchemy. The action showcases advanced battle techniques and tactical thinking from all participants. The battle reaches its climax as Laxus pushes his body to its absolute limits. Despite facing physical limitations and magical challenges, determination prevails. The scene explores themes of perseverance and fighting for one's beliefs. The next moments involve a treasure-related scenario, with multiple perspectives on what constitutes true treasure. This philosophical undertone adds depth to what might otherwise be a simple quest, suggesting that value lies in more than material wealth. The scene opens with mentions of treasures and observations about voices, setting an atmospheric tone. There are musical interludes throughout as characters explore and discover various items, including what appears to be a treasure chest, though some findings turn out to be false treasures. The action shifts to a more serious tone as characters discuss approaching Mars and dealing with the Fairy Tale Guild. They strategize about confronting the Spriggan 12 elite forces and mention powerful ice magic users heading toward Lamia Scale. Gray is tasked with handling ice-based enemies, while others head toward a ship. A dramatic confrontation unfolds involving Historia magic, which brings memories and past battles to life. The magic user explains how Historia embodies the history of battles and can create powerful manifestations of past experiences. This leads to intense magical combat involving illusions and emotional manipulation. The battle intensifies with various armor and weapon techniques being deployed. Characters use special moves like Tenrin armor and different types of magical attacks. Raging Bolt and other powerful spells are exchanged as the fighters demonstrate their abilities. The aftermath of the battle reveals serious injuries and unexpected magical powers. References are made to Irene Sama and other powerful figures. The scene includes emotional confrontations with past memories and former comrades brought to life through Historia magic. Victory is achieved in Halcyon thanks to teamwork from multiple characters, including Kagura, Celia, and Wendy, who helps heal the injured. The group discusses their success in defeating 3 Spriggans and making progress in their larger mission. A new threat emerges as Jacob, one of the Spriggan 12, appears. He reveals his role as an assassin and his unique approach to eliminating targets. The scene builds tension as Jacob explains his perfect record and unusual methods. The narrative returns to discussions about the recovery of Halcyon and powerful ice magic users. Gray and Leon reflect on their master Ur and how past experiences have shaped their growth. They acknowledge how they have learned to move forward while honoring their master's legacy. The scene shifts to a search for guild arts and casual interactions between guild members. Despite being in wartime, the characters maintain their spirits and friendship while dealing with minor injuries and everyday concerns. The story takes a dark turn as everyone mysteriously disappears. A tense confrontation occurs regarding Fairy Heart, with an ultimatum being presented: either sacrifice friends or abandon the world, putting the characters in a difficult moral dilemma. A tense situation unfolds where someone is trapped and seeking help to defeat an opponent. There are warnings about facing horrors and threats of transformation, creating an atmosphere of danger and urgency. The interaction involves characters including someone referred to as Samoni and mentions of Lucy and Natsu. The scene shifts to action with various magical attacks and battles taking place. Characters use special moves and techniques, including magical doors that strengthen spirits. The fighting intensifies with multiple participants engaging in combat using their unique abilities. A battle continues with stealth magic being used, making things invisible. This leads to some awkward situations, but the fighting persists with various magical attacks. The opponents exchange blows while using different magical techniques and strategies. The battle escalates with more magical attacks and special moves being used. Characters combine their powers and unleash stronger attacks. There are mentions of doors that strengthen spirits and various impact-based attacks, showing the intensity of the combat. The aftermath of the battle reveals that Jacob was defeated and the guild was rebuilt despite significant damage. News spreads about powerful enemies, including God Serena, August, and Irene Bersarian, who is known as the Despair of High and considered the strongest woman. Plans are made to head north where Sabretooth is fighting. There are discussions about joining forces and helping others in battle. Characters express determination to not be left behind and want to contribute to the fight against powerful opponents. The scene changes to a location with a strangely shaped rock, revealed to be near Rosemary Village. This triggers memories of the past, particularly about slavery, the Tower of Paradise, and personal growth. The history of various characters and their relationships is explored. The scene opens with a discussion about Laxus and his character development. During Fairy Tale's disbandment, Laxus joined Blue Pegasus, showing how he has grown into a more caring adult figure compared to his past self. This change in personality has been noticed by others in the guild. A conflict arises between siblings over pudding. Elfni-chan ate Lasana's special pudding without permission, causing a rare argument between them. The situation transitions into a cooking party where everyone is encouraged to make dishes they enjoy and share with others. Mira reveals she made pudding similar to the store-bought version. The siblings also attempted to make pudding. This leads to reconciliation, as they realize Mira always tries her best to make pudding for everyone. They apologize to each other, acknowledging that sharing food together is what matters most. The scene shifts to a mysterious discovery involving magical power within some ink. This ink appears to be commonly used in Achnologia. Wendy notices a familiar but unplaceable smell, suggesting there might be more to investigate. Wendy has a nightmare that causes her to wake up worried. She discusses her concerns with Charles about not being strong enough. Charles reassures her that she's grown stronger, and they agree to work together to become even stronger, reinforcing their friendship. A lighter moment occurs involving music and creativity. Someone is composing a love song, and Gajeel gets involved in the musical process. The scene showcases the guild members expressing themselves through music and supporting each other's artistic endeavors. A humorous situation develops around a massive amount of bento boxes prepared with love. There's enough food for 30 people, causing concern about how it will all be eaten. The scene demonstrates caring through food preparation, even if the portions are hilariously oversized. The narrative transitions to action sequences involving various magical abilities and armor. Multiple characters engage in combat, showcasing their powers and determination. The fight demonstrates growth in their abilities and the strength of their convictions. A casual interaction takes place between characters, mentioning Saber, Lecter, and Frosh. The scene begins with concern about potential injuries and includes someone walking down a road, creating a relaxed opening atmosphere. The narrative shifts to discuss the Dragon of Tenryu and introduces Kureha Senka Trinity. There are mentions of character relationships, specifically noting Sword Grey's connection to Frosh and Roke. The scene transitions to Juvialand, with characters discussing the absence of certain guild members. Someone appears to be heading somewhere with a serious demeanor, suggesting important developments are occurring. A tense situation unfolds involving a crystal coffin and discussions about saving friends. The characters debate whether attacking friends is acceptable, emphasizing the moral complexity of their situation. References are made to a past battle with someone named Jacob and speculation about future events. The conversation touches on the first generation and includes reassurances about current circumstances. Discussion centers on the Spriggan 12 and Natsu's presence. While some find Natsu's involvement reassuring, others express concern about his participation in negotiations. The action intensifies with displays of magical abilities, including Juvia's power manifestations and various armor techniques. Combat sequences feature specialized moves and magical armor transformations. The narrative follows Wendy's aspirations to become like Elsa and showcase personal growth. Characters demonstrate determination and resilience in facing challenges. A crisis situation develops involving monsters and defeated allies. Fairy Tale members are called upon to assist the masters, with promises made to help those in need. The tone shifts to a more personal moment, featuring grateful interactions between siblings and memories of past kindnesses. A touching scene involves the creation of an ice castle and demonstrations of different magical abilities. A battle involving magical powers and special abilities begins to unfold. There are discussions about Thunder Dragon abilities and Iron Fist techniques being used in combat. The fighting intensifies as various magical attacks are exchanged between opponents. During a rest break, the group discusses dinner plans and shares gifts from their friends. The presents include food, books, protective talismans, and other thoughtful items that demonstrate the strong bonds between guild members. The support from fellow warriors shows how much they care about each other. A dangerous encounter with a Grim Reaper figure creates tension and fear. The situation becomes more serious as they face this powerful adversary who brings up painful memories from the past. Special armor and weapons are prepared for this challenging battle. Magical particles begin spreading during an intense fight. The warriors use various spells and abilities, including demon dragon slaying magic. Despite the dangerous conditions, they continue to fight bravely while trying to protect each other. A surprising revelation occurs about magic particles and their effectiveness. The battle takes an emotional turn as one warrior admits to feeling weak but is determined to protect their companion. Their resolve strengthens despite the challenging circumstances. The fight reaches a critical point with one warrior in serious danger. Deep emotional connections between the characters are revealed as they refuse to abandon each other. There are heartfelt exchanges about love, friendship, and hopes for a shared future together. The situation becomes dire with mentions of genocide and final instructions being given. There is uncertainty about what awaits at the end of this battle, suggesting major consequences ahead. The fate of the warriors hangs in the balance as they face these extreme challenges. A tense conversation unfolds about Brandish, with reflections on family relationships and murder. There are mentions of memories involving a grandfather figure, though exact details remain unclear. The atmosphere is heavy with unresolved emotions and complicated histories between the characters. Discussion turns to powerful magic and the fairy heart. The black magic wielder proves more formidable than rumors suggested. There is talk of ending the war quickly, though motivations remain complex. Historical context about magic from 400 years ago emerges, with hints at how magic has evolved into a new era. A major magical event occurs that combines different cities, specifically Magnolia and Crocus. Buildings from different locations suddenly appear merged together, creating confusion. Lucy and others try to make sense of their new surroundings as familiar landmarks appear in unfamiliar places. Irene's compression magic is revealed to be behind the geographical changes. The technique spread throughout the land, rearranging people and places while reducing the area of Fiora by half. This was apparently done to increase encounters with the Alvarez army, suggesting strategic military purposes. The group reunites and attempts to navigate the transformed landscape. They struggle to find the direction to their guild in the reshaped world. Despite the confusion, there is relief at finding companions safe and sound. News spreads about encounters with powerful figures like August. The situation at the guild becomes more pressing as Spriggan and Zeref are reportedly gathering there. The group debates their next moves while managing injuries and fatigue. Complex dynamics between various factions come to light, including discussions of friendship and loyalty. God Serena makes an appearance, and there are ominous mentions of Universe 1 and the Fairy Heart extraction plans. The stakes continue to escalate. The focus shifts to confronting Zeref, with particular concern for Natsu's fate being tied to Zeref's. The group remains determined to find a solution that doesn't require sacrifice. Despite the dire circumstances, they maintain their resolve to protect their companions. The narrative takes a lighter turn with some casual moments involving Lucy, Happy, and others. They discuss everyday concerns like shopping and finances, providing a brief respite from the larger conflict. The contrast highlights the bonds between characters, even in challenging times. A group was walking together and noticed their feet were muddy from running. They decided to head back to the guild together after expressing gratitude to each other for their help. After walking for several hours, they discussed taking the train home despite some resistance. This reminded them of a previous train journey during the Eisenwald incident, which brought back memories of their first team formation. The team reflected on how they had grown and changed since their early days, particularly noting Lucy's significant development. A friendly debate arose about team leadership and relative strength among members. The conversation shifted to memories of Gajeel during his Phantom Lord days, recalling his reputation as their strongest member and his initial reluctance to work with others. A significant transformation in his character was noted. The group shared gifts and memories, highlighting how relationships had evolved from past conflicts. Personal growth and changing dynamics within the guild were discussed. Wendy and others practiced singing, receiving guidance from Mira. They aimed to lift spirits of evacuated battle survivors through music, focusing on conveying genuine emotion rather than technical perfection. An intense confrontation began with God Serena, a powerful mage known as the strongest of the Spriggan 12 and former top-ranked wizard saint. Multiple dragon-based magical attacks were exchanged. Guildarts arrived on the scene, joining the battle against God Serena. The fight intensified with powerful magic exchanges and strategic combat moves. It was revealed that God Serena was actually a corpse reanimated through Nineheart's memory-based magic. Discussion followed about future strategies for dealing with both Nineheart and potential reappearances of God Serena. A mysterious magical disturbance is detected, likely due to silenced magic. Someone has apparently done something to Lord Asir, leading to tension and confusion among the group. A hunt begins as they try to track down the responsible party. A powerful ice mage reveals their ability to turn all of Ibaru into winter. The cold magic proves incredibly potent, causing physical discomfort to those exposed. Multiple attacks are launched, but the Ice Mage demonstrates remarkable defensive capabilities against heat-based offensives. The Exceed team launches into action with their demon-based powers. Correa takes point with cutting abilities, while others contribute their unique skills. The team coordinates their efforts against the overwhelming ice magic. The ice proves different from normal magical ice, presenting unique challenges. Someone attempts to counter it using demon-slaying magic inherited from their father, specifically meant to defeat End. The clash of powers creates an intense magical confrontation. A dark presence attempts to corrupt one of the fighters, claiming their heart is becoming tainted. The corrupting force explains that darkness exists within everyone and tries to convince them to embrace evil. However, they maintain their resolve to protect their guild. The Ice Mage forces two magicians into an unwilling battle against each other, trapping their hearts and minds. The situation becomes dire as friends are forced to hurt one another, creating emotional and physical trauma. A desperate situation unfolds involving blood transfusion magic. One mage sacrifices themselves to save another through a secret blood magic technique, allowing their life force to live on within their companion. Brandish reveals their true allegiance to Alvarez, threatening to kill everyone except a select few. The betrayal shocks those who trusted them, leading to an inevitable confrontation. The magical power displayed becomes increasingly threatening. An intense battle erupts involving celestial spirit magic. Multiple powerful attacks are exchanged using Regulus impact and various spirit enhancements. The fighters push themselves to their limits, protecting their allies. Demaria enters the fray, creating a tense atmosphere. Time manipulation powers come into play, making the situation more complicated. The urgency to defeat Demaria before magic power depletes becomes critical. The narrative shifts to events at the Fairy Tale Guild, where Zaref and Irene are involved in a conflict over the fairy heart. Various battles and defeats are mentioned, including Inbel's restraint and eventual escape. The focus remains on finding the missing summer. A dramatic confrontation begins with intense physical combat involving powerful kicks and impacts. The scene emphasizes the strengthening of spirit through adversity, setting up an important battle sequence about to unfold. Several characters, including Charles, Lucy, Happy, and others, reunite. They discuss the whereabouts of missing companions, particularly concerned about Gray and Natsu. The group shows relief at finding each other, but remains worried about those still separated. The team encounters numerous enemies, creating a challenging situation. Despite being outnumbered, they demonstrate remarkable teamwork and determination. Lucy and others coordinate their efforts to handle the overwhelming opposition. The battle intensifies with powerful magical attacks being unleashed. Special armor and weapons come into play as the fighters tap into their abilities. The Trinity Sword and Heavenly Armor demonstrate the escalating nature of the conflict. A major victory is achieved as two powerful Spriggan 12 opponents are defeated. However, the emotional toll of the battle becomes evident as deeper themes of family bonds and loss emerge. The fight reveals personal connections and tragic backstories. A formidable new threat emerges in the form of Irene, wielding unprecedented magical power. The fairy army rallies together, demonstrating unity in the face of this overwhelming force. Strategic battle formations begin to take shape. The guild members regroup and discuss their next moves while dealing with continuous waves of enemies. They debate whether to search for missing companions or maintain their current defensive position. The battle reaches an emotional climax as sacrifices become necessary. The older generation shows willingness to protect the younger fighters, emphasizing themes of legacy and future hope. The Guildmaster delivers powerful words about friendship and family bonds. In this intense battle, an enemy still looms. The narrative centers around conflicts with Zeref and demons. A powerful force known as Zaref's demon was created as a tool for self-destruction, with emotional instincts embedded within it. The revelation comes that several important figures, including parents and Ur, are actually Zaref demons. Emotional moments unfold as tears are shed, showing vulnerability. The importance of staying true to oneself while being part of the guild is emphasized. There's guidance about fighting with respect and avoiding hatred-driven violence. The guild maintains its role as a supportive family structure. A critical situation develops where Natsu and Gray nearly killed each other. Their injuries are severe enough to require immediate medical attention. The group decides to seek help from an elderly healer who lives near the forest. The Master's influence and Elsa's intervention were crucial in preventing further conflict. The narrative shifts to intense battle sequences featuring powerful magical abilities and armor. Trinity Sword makes an appearance, demonstrating the strength of bonds between allies. Various forms of armor and dragon-related powers come into play during confrontations. A deep dive into the past reveals a tragic history. A peaceful village was destroyed by dragons, resulting in multiple deaths. This led to extensive research into life and death, eventually involving Igneal and other dragons. Important relationships formed during this period, including those with Gajiel and other dragon slayers. Critical revelations emerge about dragon seeds and devil seeds within the body. These two species are attempting to fuse, creating a dangerous situation. The mixture of these seeds poses a potentially fatal threat, leading to intense internal conflict about identity and humanity. The situation stabilizes as recovery begins. Despite concerns about the fusion of dragon and devil seeds, there's acceptance of human identity. Physical conditions improve, though Gray still requires medical attention. The focus shifts to seeking proper treatment. News arrives about the guild's battle progress, with reports of significant enemy casualties. A powerful spell called Fairy Law was used, though at a great cost. The aftermath of intense fighting leaves the group needing rest, even as they acknowledge the war isn't over. The mood lightens as attention turns to designing new armor. Lucy and Elsa collaborate on creative designs incorporating animal motifs, particularly inspired by cats like Happy, Charles, and Lily. The designs include playful elements like cat ears and wings. A major fight unfolds involving Bradman, a Spriggan member who is believed to be defeated. The battle continues with powerful magic attacks and strategic combat moves. Characters demonstrate their unique abilities while fighting against seemingly impossible odds. The battle reaches a climactic point as Historia's magic breaks and Nineheart is defeated. The aftermath reveals the toll taken on the fighters, with several characters showing signs of exhaustion and injury. Discussion turns to recovery and next steps. A touching scene develops between Gray and others, focusing on concerns about injuries and the importance of protecting friends. The conversation highlights Fairy Tail's core value of prioritizing friendship and looking out for one another, with emotional exchanges about not wanting to lose anyone. A shocking revelation occurs when a mysterious figure appears who resembles Elsa. The tension builds as questions arise about this person's identity and their connection to Nineheart. Combat resumes with impressive displays of armor and weapon techniques. The dramatic truth is revealed. The mysterious figure is Elsa's mother from Rosemary. This emotional moment brings up complex feelings about family and belonging. The scene ends with a powerful statement about anyone who attacks the guild being considered an enemy, regardless of family ties. In an intense confrontation, a powerful figure discusses how anything growing in their Alvarez Empire is considered an enemy. The scene sets up a dramatic revelation about to unfold as they prepare to share an ancient tale. The story flashes back 400 years to the Dragon King Festival. During this time, humans and dragons attempted to coexist, though dragons held an inferior position. This led to the development of a secret technique that would prevent humans from possessing dragon powers. The concept of Dragon Slayer magic is explained, revealing how humans can transform into dragons through dragon seeds growing within their bodies. This process marks a significant transformation from human to dragon form. A crucial moment is described where a desperate attempt was made to enchant an unborn child, hoping to obtain a human body. The plan failed, resulting in abandonment in a small village. Later, it was discovered this child had become both a dragon slayer and enchanter. An intense battle sequence unfolds involving powerful magic and transformation. Multiple characters engage in combat using various magical abilities and techniques, showcasing their strength and determination. The conflict escalates as advanced enchantment magic is unleashed, affecting land, sea, and celestial bodies. This demonstrates the immense scope of power being wielded in the battle. A poignant moment occurs when one character realizes they cannot harm their own child despite their previous intentions. This reveals an underlying emotional struggle beneath the fierce battle. The battle concludes with the resolution of Universe 1, returning Magnolia to its original form. The aftermath brings both physical and emotional healing as characters process what has occurred. The narrative shifts to discuss a plan involving a character named Anna from 400 years ago. The discussion reveals a complex time travel plot involving dragon slayers and their journey through the Eclipse Gate to the present. An intense battle sequence begins with discussion of magical arms and abilities. The atmosphere is charged with anticipation as competitors prepare to face off. A mysterious treasure and various magical powers are mentioned, setting up what appears to be an important confrontation. The scene shifts to a more emotional moment where characters reflect on past events and relationships. There are discussions about protecting family members and making difficult choices. The mood becomes nostalgic as old memories and clothes trigger discussions about personal growth and changes over time. Members of Fairy Tale encounter allies from Mermaid Heels who are battling against the Spriggan elf. The situation is urgent as various guilds, including Sabretooth, are caught in strange magical battles. Everyone shows determination to fight despite the challenges ahead. The story takes a dramatic turn with the revelation about Ignil's scales and their significance. A major confrontation develops involving significant troop losses. The tension builds as important items and magical powers come into play. A shocking revelation occurs when Larcade identifies himself as Zeref's son and Natsu's nephew. This family connection creates additional dramatic tension as Larcade expresses resentment over his father's greater interest in others. His dangerous magical abilities pose a serious threat. The climactic battle intensifies with discussions of powerful magic and souls. Larcade's controversial magic is revealed to be both deadly and supposedly merciful, claiming to free souls painlessly. Sting arrives as backup, leading to a confrontation between White Dragon Slayer powers and Larcade's abilities. The fight escalates with characters like Sting and Rogue working together with others to combat a powerful enemy. They combine their abilities and demonstrate impressive teamwork. After an intense battle sequence, the group manages to achieve a significant victory, though they are left exhausted. The scene shifts to Magnolia, which has become a battlefield. The characters, including Lasana, Elfman, and others, are fighting to reclaim their guild. Despite being tired from previous battles, they remain determined to continue their mission and protect their home. A determined group is working together to bring their master back home to the guild. Despite challenges, they remain focused on their mission and support each other in this important task. There are concerns about going to certain locations alone, as it's considered dangerous. Plans are being made to coordinate with other members and clean up any remaining issues before proceeding. An intense confrontation is happening at the cathedral. Someone appears to be alone, dealing with strong magical powers and expressing loyalty to a royal figure while preparing to face enemies. A magical battle begins with someone demonstrating the ability to copy and use others' magic. The fight escalates with various thunder-based attacks being exchanged between opponents. The conflict intensifies as discussions about good versus evil emerge. One side claims to be fighting for people's future while being accused of wearing a uniform of righteousness. The theme shifts to exploring parent-child relationships and love. Despite mastering various types of magic, one participant struggles to understand the emotional bonds between parents and children. The battle continues with strategic analysis of different magic types. It's revealed that holder-type magic cannot be copied, and certain armors and weapons remain effective against the opponent. A poignant moment occurs as personal histories are shared, including stories of abandonment and magical powers. The magnitude of powers involved threatens to destroy entire areas. Key characters arrive at crucial moments with discussions about timing and strategy. The situation becomes increasingly dire as magical energy depletes. A sacrificial magic is introduced that can erase one's existence and memories from the world. The user accepts this fate, believing it will prevent others from experiencing sadness. Friendship emerges as a central theme, with characters choosing to believe in each other despite facing seemingly impossible situations. Important decisions about life and death are made. The battle reaches its climax with multiple participants joining forces. Discussions about fate and the future of humanity become central to the conflict. Family relationships and personal value are questioned. A key revelation about someone's true nature as a created being adds complexity to the emotional confrontation. A mysterious sequence begins with an overflow of letters appearing, suggesting some form of advanced Setterlink magic might be involved. The situation appears concerning as expectations are not being met, creating an atmosphere of tension and uncertainty. There is discussion about time manipulation and resetting, with mentions of eclipse and returning to previous states. The idea of going back in time is presented as problematic, with concerns about maintaining current identities and relationships. A crucial moment emerges regarding transformation powers and defeating Acnologia. The possibility of becoming human again is discussed as a potential happy ending, though questions arise about the consequences for everyone involved. The focus shifts to immortality and salvation, particularly regarding Zeref. The concept of neo-eclipse is introduced as a way to end eternal life. This represents a significant turning point in dealing with immortality issues. Fairy Heart is revealed as an infinite magical power that transcends time. This represents a crucial development in the story, introducing godlike abilities that could reshape reality itself. A physical manifestation occurs where disappeared letters return, causing injury. The process of rewriting and restoring lost characters begins, demonstrating remarkable recovery abilities. The true power of fairy tale emerges, emphasizing the importance of believing in one's chosen path. The guild emblem becomes a symbol of unity and strength, representing their collective determination. The theme of family and friendship within fairy tale strengthens. Members express their dedication to protecting each other and their commitment to never giving up, showcasing the guild's core values. A confrontation regarding past actions and betrayals unfolds. The complex dynamics of love, forgiveness, and curse of contradiction come into play, revealing deeper emotional conflicts. The scene concludes with Zeref and the first generation transforming into light and disappearing. Natsu provides perspective on this outcome, suggesting it was the best possible ending. Achnologia is sealed away, and peace returns to Fairy Tale, where members can once again share laughter and precious moments together. The battle to protect the guild has been won, though victory feels bittersweet. While successfully defending against the threats of Zaref and Alvarez, there is still an underlying sense that the fight isn't truly over despite the apparent triumph. The mood is a mix of relief and uncertainty about what lies ahead. A celebratory banquet is being held to mark the victory. Amidst the festivities, discussions turn to practical matters. The guild building needs repairs again after the intense battle. Updates are shared about Achnologia being sealed away, though Geralt remains missing. Messages arrive about various developments. News spreads about the aftermath across different regions. Lamia Scale members were injured by Halcyon, with mermaids providing medical aid. Heal has begun rescue operations in the west. Various groups are mobilizing to help with recovery efforts, showcasing solidarity between different factions. The Master is recovering well, bringing relief to everyone. Though their presence may not be physically felt, their spirit remains strongly connected to the guild. The mood shifts to determination as they prepare for new challenges ahead. Major revelations emerge about Achnologia's sealing, accomplished through the combined efforts of Aya and Anna. Anna-sensei was lost to the time rift in the process. The sealing came at a great cost, but was necessary to protect those who must live on. The narrow space of time where Achnologia is sealed is described as uninhabitable. Strange magical forces are detected that cannot be ignored. Battles continue as they encounter spirit stones that need to be destroyed. The challenges keep coming even after the main conflict, showing that peace remains elusive. Epic clashes unfold involving lightning magic, crushing techniques, and dragon-slaying abilities. Multiple intense fights showcase various magical abilities and fighting styles. The battles demonstrate both physical prowess and tactical thinking as competitors unleash powerful combination attacks. The search for mysterious treasure chests and spirit stones continues. These objects appear to hold special significance and power that could be either beneficial or dangerous. Teams work together to deal with these discoveries while staying alert for any potential threats. An intense battle begins with multiple participants engaged in combat using various magical abilities and weapons. Special moves and attacks are being unleashed rapidly as the fighters demonstrate their combat prowess. The atmosphere is charged with energy as powerful techniques clash. The fighters take a brief moment to assess their progress. There is discussion about improved abilities and strengthened armor. The battle continues with renewed intensity as they search for important items and treasures while fighting enemies. The combat escalates with coordinated team attacks and spectacular magical moves. The fighters encourage each other and demonstrate their strong bonds through synchronized combat maneuvers. Their determination remains unshaken as they face increasingly difficult challenges. The scene shifts as Wendy encounters Sharia from Lamia Scale, who has arrived to assist with rescue operations. Despite being injured from previous battles with Spriggin, Sharia helps with first aid and bandaging. They discuss personal growth and resilience, even without magic. Kagura appears, who explains that Mermaid Heel is conducting rescue work in the western town. There is discussion about sword maintenance and how perspectives on fighting have evolved from seeking revenge to protecting others. The reconstruction efforts are ongoing as the group continues their mission. There is reflection on personal growth and moving forward with renewed strength. The journey has revealed that true power comes from connections with others rather than isolation. The path ahead looks bright as everyone heads toward their next destination. The evacuation efforts have been successful, with supplies being distributed and people finding safety. While some want to continue working, others suggest taking a break. There is friendly competition between guild members as they help rebuild the damaged city. With the help of various guilds, cities like Halcyon are being restored. There are plans to return home to Magnolia, catch up on writing, and possibly embark on new adventures once things settle down. The search for Aquarius Key is mentioned as a potential quest. A powerful entity has emerged with the ability to control time itself. This being seeks to bring destruction and claims dominion over everything in the world. The situation becomes dire as this threat demonstrates immense magical abilities. Acnologia has returned, breaking seals and trapping dragon slayers in a time rift. The creature has split into spirit and body after consuming time magic, with its physical form rampaging through the world, while its spirit exists in a temporal space. A plan forms to use Fairy Sphere, one of the three great magics, against Acnologia. The strategy involves using ships at Halcyon Port and exploiting Achnologia's potential weakness to motion. Various groups coordinate their efforts in this complex operation. Inside the time-space rift, The trapped dragon slayers hear encouraging voices from their friends outside, giving them strength to fight. They prepare to face off against their powerful opponent with renewed determination. The team works together to create an ice ship and guide Acnologia toward it. Lucy prepares to use Fairy Sphere, while others lend their magical power to support the plan. The location holds special significance as the place where many adventures began. The final battle commences with intense magical exchanges. Acnologia demonstrates the ability to consume magic, making the fight especially challenging. The heroes must find ways to overcome this formidable defense. Help arrives in the form of Christina and Meredith's magic, which allows wizards across the continent to combine their power. The united forces of Fairy Tail and their allies prepare for a decisive strike against their powerful opponent. An epic battle is unfolding involving dragons and humans with dragon-derived powers. The scene opens with discussions about strength through friendship and the complex nature of dragons in this world. Some believe dragons no longer exist, while others insist on their continued presence. A heated debate emerges about dragons' nature, whether they can be kind or cruel. There are references to tragic past events involving dragons destroying towns and families. Despite the dark history, some maintain that dragons, like humans, can have different personalities and moral alignments. The power of friendship becomes a central theme as characters prepare for an important battle. There is acknowledgement that dragons, like humans, have diverse traits. Some are good, some are bad, some strong, others weak. A major conflict is brewing. After an intense battle with Acnologia, peace begins returning to Fiore. Evacuated residents start coming back, and there is talk of new adventures and quests. The aftermath shows a world recovering from major conflict, with characters considering their next moves. The scene shifts to post-battle planning, with characters discussing future destinations and activities. There is a lighter mood as they consider things like beach trips and competitions, showing a return to normalcy after the intense conflict. Late-night conversations reveal deeper reflections on recent events, particularly regarding sacrifices made during the battle with Acnologia. Characters discuss the importance of survival and protecting others' happiness. The scene opens with an exciting moment where Elsa defeats a monster with a single strike, demonstrating incredible strength. Wendy is being praised for her own accomplishments in defeating monsters, though she remains modest about her achievements. A discussion about the various powerful mages in Fairy Tail takes place, highlighting members like Natsu with fire magic, Gray with ice magic, and Laxus with lightning magic. The guild welcomes a new member who is looking to join their ranks. The focus shifts to conversations between guild members. There are mentions of letters from Meredy and discussions about crime sorcière. The topic of love advice comes up, particularly regarding feelings between certain members. The narrative moves to cooking discussions and anticipation of future meetings between friends. There is excitement about sharing experiences and skills with others in person. An intense training session unfolds with guildarts facing off against multiple challengers. Despite their increased magical power, the challengers find themselves outmatched by guildarts' superior abilities. The scene transitions to reconstruction efforts in Halcyon Town following a war. Guild members are helping collect medicinal herbs and assist with rebuilding the damaged areas. A lighter mood takes over as preparations begin for a special summer event, a swimsuit contest. Blue Pegasus has organized this celebration to mark the end of the war with Alvarez. Participants are excited about the promised prizes. The final scene involves casual conversation over smoothies, touching on various topics including concerns about Maria, who remains in their hotel, still processing recent events. there are hints at former enemies potentially becoming allies. The discussion begins with tips about posing techniques. It involves pulling arms together and sticking out the posterior slightly. These poses are demonstrated and compared to how certain characters like Elsa pose. The tips are shared in a casual, instructive manner meant to help improve photo appearances. The conversation shifts to discussing accessories that complement swimwear. Suggestions include straw hats and handmade flower crowns using local hibiscus flowers. The group enthusiastically discusses exploring the area to find or create perfect accessories, with a target of finding 2 to 3 items that would look great with swimsuits. An intense action sequence unfolds with various combat moves and magical abilities being displayed. Multiple participants engage in battle, showcasing their unique fighting styles and powers. The combat demonstrates both offensive and defensive techniques, with participants giving their all in the confrontation. The scene transitions to a heartfelt discussion about gift-giving and relationships. Various suggestions are made about potential presents, including practical items like armor and personal items. The conversation emphasizes the importance of considering the recipient's feelings when choosing a gift. A playful competition develops over fishing, with participants comparing their catches. The atmosphere is lighthearted despite their competitive spirit. The scene highlights the friendly rivalry between the participants as they debate whose fish is bigger. A touching moment occurs involving inherited earrings from the Alvarez Empire. The discussion explores complex emotions about family connections and personal identity. The conversation acknowledges the difficulty of dealing with complicated relationships and inherited possessions. There are concerns about structural damage to the guild hall, particularly the floor. The scene ends with contemplation about magical power and its connection to memories and existence. A mysterious conversation begins about an increasing number of beetles. There is discussion about someone being scared and mentions of something called lost iced shell, which apparently erased someone from existence and memories. The tone is both curious and concerned as they try to make sense of the situation. The scene shifts to someone named Gray, who seems to be central to the story. There are mentions of summer and chasing after someone who ran away. The mood alternates between urgency and happiness, with references to eating something delicious despite the tense situation. An intense battle sequence begins with mentions of Dragon Iron Fist techniques. The fighting involves someone named Bolt, who is described as a formidable opponent. The combat seems to involve both physical attacks and magical elements. The focus shifts to the discovery of treasure chests and magical items. There is excitement about finding valuable objects and discussion about magical power being present. The discoveries seem to be unexpected but welcome. More combat ensues with mentions of special techniques and magical abilities. The fighting intensifies with references to losing control of one's body and facing difficult opponents. The atmosphere is tense and action-packed. There is discussion about becoming stronger to protect the guild, suggesting this is part of a larger organization or community. The tone becomes more determined and focused on self-improvement. The action reaches a climax with powerful attacks, including the Greedy Hunter Iron Fist technique. The battle becomes more intense with various magical and physical combat moves being used. There are mentions of breaking power and unleashing full strength. A magical adventure begins when a stagnant magical power is detected in the area. There are hints that a mysterious entity called Puru may be nearby, though the scent in the air suggests otherwise. An impending battle seems to be brewing, with mentions of greed and enemies gathering. The quest leads to what appears to be a treasure, but instead reveals a powerful opponent. a fierce battle commences involving various magical attacks and defensive moves. The fight intensifies with mentions of special powers and impact systems being deployed. The battle continues with increasing intensity as powerful moves like Star Dress and Arcwave are unleashed. The combatants show strong determination, with shields responding to spirits and impacts creating dramatic effects. Despite the enemy showing signs of weakening, the fight remains challenging. The pursuit of the mysterious magical power continues, with more attention being drawn to the stagnant magic in the area. There are mentions of landmarks and searching for something important within the vicinity. The atmosphere is filled with anticipation and uncertainty. A touching moment occurs with reflections on past victories, including defeating powerful foes like Zaref and Acnologia. There are emotional references to Agneal and promises to become stronger and live life properly. The scene carries themes of growth and determination. The focus shifts to a collection of rare items and spirit stones emanating strange magical power. Various characters express interest in these discoveries, with some noting impressive magical properties that cannot be ignored. The items appear to hold significant value. As morning approaches, fatigue sets in and there are suggestions of taking rest. However, the magical power continues to call, creating a sense of urgency. The stagnant magical energy remains a primary concern, with continued references to Prue's voice and strange magical forces. The scene begins in Mashikari, where magical power appears to be stagnant. A mysterious voice called Nakonobe magical power is heard, creating an atmosphere of uncertainty. The protagonist is searching for direction in this magical realm while dealing with complications around magical abilities. During the exploration, several treasure boxes are discovered containing valuable items. The protagonist expresses excitement about finding these treasures while dealing with what they call poo-poo magic. There is a sense of anticipation about what might be inside these mysterious containers. A battle sequence unfolds where the protagonist faces off against opponents. They note that while the enemy appears weak, they possess strong fighting abilities. Bolt is specifically mentioned as a challenging opponent. The fighting style involves both magical powers and physical combat with fists. The scene shifts to a more social interaction where characters discuss catching people's attention. There are references to loneliness and the desire to make an impact. The atmosphere becomes more contemplative compared to earlier action sequences. The focus turns to Wendy, who is described as a hard-working character. Friends discuss not participating in a contest, emphasizing the importance of spending time together and maintaining friendships over competition. There are strong themes of companionship and loyalty. A darker backstory emerges about becoming a devil and leaving a village plagued by monsters. The Strauss brothers' story is revealed, involving their cursed magic abilities and family persecution. Despite initial hatred of their powers, they learn to embrace their abilities to protect others. The action moves to Red Beach, where various characters gather. Elfman arrives to support Irene and others in an upcoming contest. There is excitement and anticipation building around this event, with multiple participants preparing to compete. The first test is revealed to be the Incandescent Cookie Glutton Challenge, involving super spicy red hell spice cookies. This creates tension and concern among the participants about their ability to complete the challenge. A special judging contest is taking place, featuring Brandisi and Di Maria. The first round involves an intense eating competition with extremely spicy food. Despite having protective armor, the contestants struggle with the spiciness level of the challenge. After multiple rounds of screening, including a vehicle endurance race, several contestants were eliminated. The competition reaches its final stage, a midsummer appeal contest. two finalists remain, Kagura from Mermaid Heel and Mira Jane from Fairy Tale. Mira Jane impresses the audience with her magical takeover abilities, transforming into a stunning princess. Her performance captures hearts as she demonstrates how her powers can bring smiles to everyone. The venue fills with excitement and enthusiasm. An unexpected interruption occurs during the contest as trouble breaks out in the town. However, the guild members quickly respond to protect the audience and maintain peace. Their teamwork ensures no damage occurs to the town or its people. Mira Jane emerges victorious and receives the winning prize. In a display of good sportsmanship, Kagura accepts the outcome gracefully. The prize turns out to be a special knight statue, though some participants had hoped for something different. The story shifts to focus on Juvia, who obtains a magical love-enhancing drink. She considers using it on Gray, but decides to drink it herself instead. Meanwhile, Guildarts announces he must head north for work, causing concern among guild members. The narrative transitions to discuss the 12 Spriggans, powerful magicians including August and Irene. Their complex relationships and positions of power within their organization are revealed, hinting at deeper political dynamics. The scene changes to an encounter with saber-tooth members who are guarding a fishing bridge due to reported monster attacks. They warn about dangerous creatures that have injured some guild members in the area. The group heads north to investigate the monster situation and search for Kana, who may be in danger. They navigate through a dense forest where even enhanced senses struggle to track scents due to the overwhelming smell of soil and leaves. A conversation unfolds about someone heading to a dangerous location despite knowing the risks. There are reports of monster activity in that area, though an elderly woman expresses concern. Her worries are dismissed with confidence by a young lady who possesses magical abilities. The discussion turns to monster extermination and property damage. While Kana is known for handling monsters, there are jokes about how involving others could lead to serious collateral damage like destroying houses. The conversation has a lighthearted tone despite the serious subject matter. A monster encounter is described with details about a fairy tale mage who used card magic passing through earlier. The conversation reveals clues about tracking someone heading north, showing how the characters are following leads and working together. The search continues in a cold area where Kana might be located. Someone offers help while tracking, noting they can detect Kana's presence through smell. The group remains determined to find their target, despite challenging conditions. After defeating a golem, the search for Kana proves unsuccessful. The team considers the possibility they might have missed each other along the way. Without any new leads, they contemplate returning to the guild to regroup. The golem incident is discussed further, with observations about Kana's increased strength. The monster is described as relatively common, suggesting the mission wasn't particularly challenging. The conversation reveals underlying concern about Kana's safety. The story shifts to an unexpected meeting between Levi and Jalal. They discuss a mysterious golden book that's become popular among readers, located in a special restaurant. The book apparently evokes strong emotional responses from its readers. At the restaurant, it's revealed that entry is restricted to couples only. The owner presents a challenge. If they want to read the golden book, they must prove their love by completing a test and bringing back specific items as proof. The quest for a rainbow feather begins. The team searches for a rare bird known to possess rainbow-colored feathers. After some struggle in comedy, they successfully obtain the feather, though not quite in the way they expected. Upon returning with the rainbow feather, the group faces a new challenge, deciding who will pose as couples to enter the restaurant. Various pairing suggestions are made, creating amusing tension among the team members as they try to organize themselves. A group's discussion takes place about team assignments and priorities. While there is some initial resistance and uncertainty about who will participate, the conversation focuses on the need to make decisions about group membership and assignments. The scene shifts to a restaurant setting where friends are enjoying pasta and ramen. There is playful banter about pretending to be couples. Someone offers cake as a special surprise, though there is some reluctance to participate in the romantic gestures. The group discusses a treasure hunt challenge that requires infiltration by 2 people. Despite some hesitation, there is determination to complete the mission and prove themselves as a convincing couple to gain access to a golden book. The quest continues as the group searches for a special clover item. After some struggle and action sequences, they manage to retrieve a heart-shaped clover leaf that appears to have romantic significance. At an upscale restaurant, couples must maintain their romantic facade while investigating. There is an awkward incident with spilled drinks and towels, revealing the establishment is strictly for couples only. The chef appears suspicious of their true relationship status. The group encounters magical challenges while searching for a crystal item. Through teamwork and special abilities, they successfully defeat monsters and obtain the needed crystal to progress further in their quest. The chef regains consciousness and explains being manipulated by an outside force to enforce strict couple-only rules. Impressed by the group's determination and help, the chef agrees to show them the special golden book. The golden book is revealed to be a collection of romantic poetry about love and relationships. While not what they expected, the group appreciates the genuine emotions expressed in the poems, even finding humor and warmth in the unexpected contents. The story takes a serious turn as discussion shifts to a powerful entity called Acnologia. Through an ancient book, they learn about a once gentle guardian dragon who protected a secret region but underwent a dramatic transformation after witnessing conflicts between dragons and humans. The final revelation explains how the guardian dragon became corrupted, destroying the very place and people it once protected. This tragic origin story explains how a human doctor, filled with vengeance, eventually became the fearsome dragon-human hybrid known as Achnologia. A tense confrontation with Achnologia is brewing. The air is thick with anticipation as memories of past encounters with dragons, particularly Igneel, surface. Magic power feels stagnant, but there is a determination to face what lies ahead, despite shaking legs and uncertainty. The battle against Achnologia begins in earnest. There is a promise about the future at stake, and Fairy Tale's power stands against this evil dragon force. The determination to defeat Achnologia, who threatens to destroy the future, grows stronger despite the fear. Achnologia reveals his destructive intentions, declaring that the world has no need for dragons. He threatens to eliminate all dragon slayers, driven by an insatiable greed and desire for destruction. The situation grows more dire as his true nature emerges. The emotional stakes intensify as past losses to dragons are remembered. There is a fierce determination not to let anything else be taken away. The Dragon King's power begins to burn, marking the start of an epic confrontation. The battle reaches its climax with powerful attacks being exchanged. The bonds between allies grow stronger as they combine their powers. Special techniques like Trinity Sword and Heaven's Armor are deployed against the dragon threat. After an intense battle, there is reflection on the outcome. The threat of Achnologia may return, but there is confidence in facing future challenges together. The strong bonds between companions remain unshaken despite the ordeal. Time passes and the story transitions to a year later. A new chapter begins as Lucy Hartfilia gains recognition as an author, winning a Newcomer Award for her novel. Her books are selling well, marking the achievement of one of her dreams. A celebration party is held for Lucy's literary achievement. Friends gather to share in her success, with plenty of food and drink. The atmosphere is joyful as guild members express their pride and support for her accomplishment. Major changes have occurred in the kingdom, including the princess ascending to the throne and improved diplomatic relations with Alvarez. Personal developments among guild members are discussed, including romantic relationships and individual growth. At a celebratory party, everyone is enjoying themselves when someone unexpectedly removes their clothes. There are playful interactions between party guests discussing bodies and relationships in a light-hearted way. The celebration is for a Rookie of the Year award recipient. There is discussion about modeling opportunities for Weekly Sorcerer magazine and working with experienced models. The atmosphere is supportive and encouraging. The party continues with typical guild antics, including unusual eating habits and clothing mishaps. There is a warm feeling of togetherness and family among all the guild members. The scene transitions to a bedroom where someone wakes up after being carried there when falling asleep at the party. There are emotional reflections about friendship and gratitude for meaningful relationships. Discussion turns to the legendary 100-year quest and the eternal mysteries that define the guild. The guild is described as having a misleadingly cute name despite its rough nature, but members cherish their daily experiences together. At a festival that occurs once annually, there are interactions between different guilds. Books and weapons are exchanged, with emphasis on learning from history and understanding different cultures to prevent future conflicts. A quiet moonlit scene unfolds with deep conversations about personal growth, power, and protecting the guild. There are reflections on dealing with complicated family legacies and finding one's own path. Book exchanges lead to meaningful discussions about relationships and personal connections. There is an emphasis on how shared interests can bring people together despite their differences. The final scenes focus on family bonds, particularly father-daughter relationships. There are touching moments about cherishing memories through photographs and the enduring nature of familial love, even when separated by distance. A heartfelt reunion occurs between a father and daughter named Kana. After not recognizing each other initially, they share an emotional moment where they promise to strengthen their relationship and love each other properly as family from now on. The story shifts to a romantic subplot involving Juvia and Gray. Juvia enthusiastically recounts their first meeting, though her version differs significantly from reality. She imagines it as a romantic encounter, while Gray maintains a more practical perspective. A touching scene unfolds where someone comforts Lucy, who is in pain. They reminisce about childhood memories of a mother's magical touch and how love is the source of all magic. The group then enjoys a special curry meal prepared with care and love. Discussion turns to Natsu's adventures and growth. Despite not being able to meet Igneel anymore, it's noted how Natsu has developed through his journeys and friendships. His ability to help others and form bonds has contributed to his personal growth. A meaningful interaction occurs regarding manuscripts and storytelling. The writing receives praise for capturing important moments and relationships, particularly focusing on first-generation characters. The scene emphasizes the strong bonds within the guild family. Urza discusses various topics including sweets, armor, and potential retirement. The conversation reveals her strong connection to the guild and her role as a powerful female warrior, while also touching on her relationship with her daughter. A lighthearted dispute breaks out over food and competition. Gray and others engage in playful banter about winning and voting, showing the casual camaraderie among guild members despite their rivalries. Important guild history is discovered, revealing details about past members and the guild's founding in 686. The story emphasizes how the guild was created as a place for friendship and adventure, maintaining these values through generations. Gerard and Wendy have an encounter involving dark guild materials. Their interaction highlights Wendy's growth as a fighter and their mutual respect. The scene ends with emotional encouragement for continued strength and development. The scene begins with someone collecting medicinal herbs while expressing concern about being late and facing scolding from Polishka's grandmother. The perspective shifts to a reflection on a past battle involving skeletons, contrasting with the current peaceful scenery that has transformed significantly from before. The location has undergone a beautiful transformation, with flowers now blooming where there were none before. There is optimism about sharing this lovely sight and a suggestion to quickly gather herbs and return to the guild. A touching moment occurs involving hand-knitted gloves made during the night. Though cold weather gear isn't necessarily needed, the thoughtful gift is offered regardless, creating a warm atmosphere typical of regular guild interactions. A group went shopping together in the morning, avoiding the rain. The shopping trip was enjoyable for everyone involved. Various items were purchased, including a special gray lunchbox and sweater materials, showing thoughtful consideration in the gift choices. There is contemplation about the value of gift giving and whether certain presents might be overwhelming. Concerns about practical matters like odors are dismissed, showing genuine care in the gift selection process. A heartfelt expression of contentment emerges, suggesting that acceptance alone is sufficient reward. Strong emotions of love and dedication are expressed, indicating deep personal connections within the guild. The guild faces some confusion and chaos, particularly regarding invasion concerns. There is discussion about organizing and arranging items, including placing shelves and sorting through various materials. Protective relationships within the guild are highlighted, with special mention of protecting Wendy. Members offer mutual support and assistance, demonstrating strong bonds between guildmates. The scene focuses on collaborative effort in handling documents and administrative tasks. Despite initial independence, some end up seeking help from Miran, showing the practical reality of teamwork. The possibility of taking a vacation is discussed, with suggestions to enjoy sweets together. While work remains, there is confidence that tasks will be completed quickly through collective effort, emphasizing the comfort and security found in group solidarity.